Welcome to another episode. In this video presentation, we'll see the approach to learn the cloud infrastructure, what it has in it, and what is the prerequisite. One of the reasons I'm making this presentation is that there are a lot of queries to me that how to go about learning the cloud infrastructure, and particularly with the advertisements across to different students. They are enticing the students to learn the cloud infrastructure. Learning is no doubt is very required on the cloud infrastructure, but they also end up spending a fortune in the sense somewhere about around lakhs of rupees to learn the cloud infrastructure. So do you really require to spend so much amount in learning them? And if you want to learn, can anyone learn it? What are the prerequisites? So you need to have a prerequisite, then it becomes a easy task to learn. So all this are not said, so they end up enrolling in the high fortune courses in the sense they spend about lakh of rupees, but end of it, since if they don't have a prerequisite, it becomes a challenge. So that is where you need to have an understanding what is this cloud infrastructure is all about. That is step number one. What are the prerequisite and how to go about learning it? That is what we are going to see in this presentation. So the first one is, what is this cloud infrastructure? If you look at it, Amazon provides that, Azure provides that, Google provides that, and Oracle also provides that, called Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. So all of them, these are the big four, and apart from that, there are many others as well who provide the cloud infrastructure, but the focus is on these four because the AWS is a pioneer. About it is said more than 40 to 50% is by AWS. That is what is said, but it keeps it keeps changing as well. Though Oracle was a late entrant, and they have picked up in a great way. So first is to understand what does the offering has in common across all of the infrastructure. That is very important. What is that they have? So let's see that critical cloud components. The first one is the virtual machines. The physical machine is your laptop or any of the desktop. That's a physical machine. So you know it's available. So you can own it. You own a laptop. So that is what it is. But cloud is all about the virtual machine. So a virtual machine is a virtual environment that functions as a virtual computer system, its own CPU, memory, network, storage. It could be block storage, or it could be the object storage created on a physical hardware, because physical hardware will be in their data center, respective data center, be it Azure or be it Amazon, Google, or Oracle. In their data center they have the physical hardware system. So you need to provision this virtual machine. So you can provision these virtual machines. So you can provision them as and when required, and you can drop them also. If you don't want it, you can drop. You can add resources, be it CPU, be it memory, be it storage. You can add those resources on ad hoc basis as on need basis. So this is a scaling process, particularly if you are on a month end when the load is going to be higher, then you might require higher CPU. You can all do that. So this is not possible in the laptop. You can't change memory as and when required, but in the virtual machines you can do that in ease. You can manually do it, or you can do it, make it automatically based on the CPU load as well. So all that is possible. So the first one is virtual machine. All of the cloud system or the cloud vendors provides this concept of virtual machine. This virtual machine can be a dedicated machine, or it could be a shared machine. So there are many parameters, and what is the OS is all about, whether it is Linux based, Windows based, all those are there. It comes in different, they call it shapes. different shapes it will come. So you can choose it based on your need. So that's the first one, is a virtual machine. The second one is the database. So all of them provides the relational database. If you look at it, Oracle database is well known. Then you have MySQL, which is now belonging to Oracle. Then as far as Microsoft, it is SQL Server. Then Amazon, the latest, the Amazon Aurora, Cloud SQL, BigQuery. These two, last two, is belonging to the Google Cloud. The third one is, of course, the Amazon. So the relational database. So Oracle is well known. So probably if you want to learn the Oracle database, then it is better to go for the Oracle cloud infrastructure. Interestingly, they provide the Oracle database itself in a free time. So we will see that. And then the NoSQL database. This is, you keep hearing about NoSQL, particularly with the big data. In last 5 to 7 years, you hear about the big data, or for big data, you might require the NoSQL database. And some of the application uses, particularly if it is big data related, then you might use the NoSQL database. So Oracle, all of them provide that as well. So this is the Oracle provides Oracle NoSQL, Amazon DynamoDB, Azure Cosmos, Cloud Data Store, and Firestore is related to the Google. So first one is virtual machine. The next one is the database. Third one is microservices, the containerization. So Dockers, Kubernetes. I'll not go into the details, but these all of the cloud infrastructure provides this as well. The Dockers and Kubernetes, this is related to microservices. And then comes the tools. The varying tools are there related to data transform, that is extract, transform and loading, related to data warehousing, and then analytics. They provide tools for analytics as well. So there are different tools which they provide. Each of the cloud platform has its own tools. It has, that's where like all cloud platform provide various tools, and that is where depending upon the requirement, sometimes customer opts for a multi-cloud, because they would prefer one specific tool from one based on requirement, one cloud provider, maybe from Oracle, and another tool from Google. So that's where they go in for multi-cloud. So the tools, the other one is tools, and the last one, whereas an important one, is identity access management. So the entire organization will have maybe hundreds of users. All the users cannot have the same kind of an access, and that is where the identity access management plays a critical role. So this is related to the governance of the cloud platform. Who can have provisioning access? Suppose all of them will not have the provisioning access of virtual machines. So that's where like a few of them will be provided that option of provisioning the virtual machine. Similarly, the database. Who can provision the database, but who can read the database? So all this comes under the identity and access management. So these are the broad category or a broad classification of critical cloud components. So once you have this, and again, all of the cloud vendors provide this in various names. They do provide this offering. And next comes, once you have this understanding, the next one is, what is that you require to learn the cloud? So we will see that as well. The first one is the programming knowledge. Programming knowledge is definitely beneficial, like Python, Java, .NET. If you have that knowledge, it's always better. Then comes Linux command line commands, shell scripting, an advantage as well. Relational database, knowledge on SQLs will be beneficial. How SQL works in the relational database, that will be beneficial. And then microservices concepts like Dockers, that will be beneficial. And then data warehousing concept like ETL analytics can be beneficial. But no doubt, no one can be well versed unless you had years of experience. You might not be well versed in all of them, but if you ask me which is maybe 2 to 3 which can be picked, I would suggest the top 3. Programming knowledge, Linux command line command. You need not be an expert, but you need to know what it is. And the relational database, particularly the SQL. So I would suggest maybe Python or Java, Linux command line commands, some command line commands, and relational database. Particularly if you have a basic knowledge, then you can build over it. So the first 3 I would suggest, those knowledge if you have, it is going to be beneficial in learning the cloud infrastructure. And finally, the learning approach. One is that all the cloud services provide free credit for certain period of time. It can be 1 month or 12 months. So if you have a credit card, you can, if you have the prerequisite knowledge, probably you can opt for the free credit. It could be for 1 month to 12 months. It is not, and again varies depending upon the cloud providers. Could be 1 month or 12 months. And number 2 is there are cloud providers who provides an always free tier. So for example, the Oracle provides 2 virtual machine, basic machine always free, and 2 autonomous DB always free. And it is better always to look at the product documentation and the videos. Now it is videos is common. You can look at the videos as well to learn. And there are now low cost courses which are available. Sometimes it is even the product itself, like Amazon, Azure, Oracle provides some free courses, or there are also low cost courses. You can refer to various platforms like Udemy or other platform to learn this, who does offer these courses. So you can go for a low cost courses if you have the prerequisite knowledge, and if you have an understanding, you can go up for the low cost courses. And again, my suggestion is this one. Again, if it is okay for you, you can spend a fortune, but my take is just not to spend a fortune in getting trained in cloud platform. So opt for the prerequisite knowledge, gain SQL knowledge, or gain some Linux knowledge. Once you have that knowledge, get a free credit, and then you can learn on your own with support of sorry, the low cost courses. My take is that you can opt for it, and then you can comfortably learn anywhere between 1 to 3 months. You can learn the cloud infrastructure, and that you can put up in your CV and then attempt an interview as well. So this is my take as far as the learning approach is on the cloud. So if you have any queries, do post your comment, and I'll be glad to respond back to you. So thank you. Stay tuned. Have a good day.